Well, I've spent some time pulling nails and staples out of the ceiling rafters, trying to get things ready for the new walls and ceiling to go back in there. And I had to go. They had cut the ceiling out previously, but still was just a little bit of it left on the edge. So I went through and cut so that I could get new ceiling flush up against here. And so I've been working on that. I think the next thing I'm going to do is take this cabinet out. So for one reason, it needs some rebuilding inside. It's got some pieces that are kind of coming apart a little bit, need to be redone. And also so that I can put the ceiling in more easily. So I'm going to take that out next. Alright, I got the fan and the vent hood down, and I'm going to take a picture here of these wires so I can remember how it's connected. So we got two black wires and a white wire here that goes to the light, and then that white wire goes to two gray wires. Those two gray wires are connected together. Okay, got that vent hood off. Looking for the screws to take the cabinet down here. Looks like there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 probably. It's up there pretty good. Okay, was able to get the cabinet down with some assistance. Had a couple of stubborn screws, as is usually the case, but we got it down. And looking at this wall, I think I'm going to leave this, and the only place here is right up in this corner. I'm going to put some glue under that and see if I can get that to be okay. I'm going to replace this one, and let me go ahead and replace this corner as well, because I did the other corner. Alright, this is the cabinet that we took out above the sink area, and what I'm planning on doing is using this to practice sanding down these surfaces and applying the shellac that goes on there. I bought some amber shellac, and which is supposed to be what needs to go on this birch. So I want to sand this down, practice on it, and see how it comes out. What you might be able to see here is that the bottom of this has gotten wet, so there's a layer of veneer that I'm going to need to take out, and I might even need to replace the whole bottom. Also on this shelf it's the same way, so I'm going to see if I need to actually replace the whole bottom and the shelf, or if taking that veneer off, and maybe, I don't know if I'll need to replace that with anything. We'll see how it looks when I take that off of there. Okay, last time I believe I was sanding on the upper kitchen cabinet. I had it in the shop and I was sanding on that, and just doing some testing. I did put some shellac on there just to see how it would do, just to practice a little bit, and that's still in the shop. And since then I had a decision to make on this this wall panel behind the kitchen cabinets. I thought about taking the kitchen cabinets out so that I could put paneling on the whole wall, but there's several gas lines. There's a couple of gas lines coming up through there. There's water supply, and then the water drain that goes out. So I decided not to take this lower kitchen cabinet out, but what I did was cut along the top edge of the counter, and right here I marked a line here and just cut a straight line there. So when I get ready to put the new panel back, I'll put it here, and then there's a little backsplash that goes right here that'll cover that seam up. So hopefully that'll work out well. I also removed this other corner up in the front, just like I did the other side. It wasn't perfect. It was okay, but since I've got the new birch, I wanted to put as much of that in here as I could so it would be uniform. And then last night I started working on this. I found that this end of this cabinet looked pretty good, with the exception of the bottom down here, and it was rotting and coming apart down at the bottom, and this furnace was right here in the end. So I took out that end and got the furnace loose, but I can't get the furnace out because of the way it's vents toward the outside. There's a big flange right there, so I haven't figured out how to get that off so that I can get the whole furnace out and eventually replace that panel in there. So that's what I'm going to be working on next.